Hey guys, Coach Mike Landon, TANCnutrition.com and the Diet Doc Team K Seattle coming right back at you here. Today, we got a very special guest on the Iron Sharpens Iron show here. This is episode 5 here, guys. And we got none other from all the way from London, England. Is it London, England?
UK.
We have, the UK. We have Chris Nsubuga, pro natural bodybuilder. Chris, thank you for coming on the show today.
Oh, great pleasure.
Here. You're going to be guest posing today, this Saturday, right?
Well, it's just first of all, thanks God, and such a privilege to be, a good friend of Katie, and yet again, 4th year running, she's got me back again in Washington here in Seattle, Auburn. Is that right?
Auburn, yes.
Yes. So yeah, it's a great pleasure. So I would just be, just be right there wherever I'm needed to work. I'm here to work with everyone. Whoever is standing up to the show, I'm so looking forward to it, to working with them, helping out, and cheering, encouraging, getting there. Yes.
Oh yeah.
We've got the pros around. So pros are there. They're going to be the pinnacle of the show.
Okay.
It's nothing anymore to do with me. I'm just privileged to be around and to be supportive to Katie and give back.
All right. Can you tell the audience a little something about yourself that they probably don't know?
Take the mask of man that you can see right here. I'm a nobody. I'm a father of 2, married, beautiful wife, Claire Nsubuga, 2 children, boy and a girl, Joshua and Lily. They were here with us last year. At the same time. I was born in Uganda, and at the age of around about 18, moved to England to be with my mother. Still got siblings and relatives who live in London, UK, 40 years of age. I'm a God-fearing, man.
Yes.
I'm a very God-fearing man, and I would love to everyone to get to know that, because obviously, it's one of the precious, mentor that is behind this man that you can see, because I'm nothing.
There's a lot of spiritual bodybuilders in the league, pro bodybuilders. Marshall Johnson, we got your buddy Benny Mobley, Philip Ricardo. All those guys are pretty. I've interviewed them, and they're pretty God-fearing too, and I like that. I appreciate that spirit behind that. Now, when did your journey into natural bodybuilding happen?
Wow.
When did this take place?
Well, let me first of all tell you the most important bit that happened in this journey. When I started bodybuilding, I did not start it as an end product of being on stage.
Yeah.
I started it when I was about 16, back home in Uganda, in a boarding school that I used to, I did attend to. That's where I started, weight training to assist in my, sports. I used to do a little bit of running.
Oh, okay.
Bit of basketball back in Uganda.
Okay.
Football. I just used to get involved in any kind of sport.
Yeah.
So, that's where all the interest started from. So, came to England. I carried on exercising. On that respect.
Yeah.
Around about 2000, going back now 17 years ago, 2000. Wow. Yes, that was my first competition in a nightclub, because I used to.
In a nightclub?
Yes, it was a nightclub. Yes. I got involved, and I got placed, quite well. I was, second out of 5 guys, the heavyweight guys. Was I've always been a heavyweight, and one of the guys who was the promoter of that show said, "Hey, come, get involved in in a natural organization, which is called which was at the time called NBA, Association of Natural Bodybuilding. That's in UK. Then in 2000, I joined BNBF. Oh, BNBF! I love BNBF. I wish anyone out there could get out there and check out British Natural Bodybuilding Federation.
BNBF.
It is the pinnacle of the amateurs from UK, natural amateurs from UK, and it's got great, past champions and world champions. One of the most important names that you probably will hear, Rob Hop. Rob Hop. It was my brother Rob Hop. Did rock the natural wild scenery in the WNBF back in the 2000 to 2009. Great champion. But all that behind BNBF was Vicky McCann. Wow, Vicky McCann, great lady, good friend, I hope we are, because I still love her, and guy, this guy has run, very good professional amateur best UK natural federation, and it's quite big in in UK. That's in Britain. From that I joined him in 2002, became a pro in 2005.
I was going to ask you that. Okay, when did you get 2005? That's when you got it.
2000, yes. But all those years in between, from 2000 to 2005, I was just enjoying the amateur, being an amateur, because from that, I was winning. I used to win, the heavyweights, amateur class. But not only that, enjoying the the beginning,
camaraderie and everything like that. Okay,
yes. And then 2005, yes, turned up pro. Great journey. I didn't then start straight away to travel internationally. Because I never had the papers to travel internationally, so so that's one thing, I never had papers to allow me to travel, but that was a blessing in disguise. It just kept on working behind scenes with BNBF, as they used to go around with affiliation of various federations, the WNBF.
That's what I was going to ask you. What national federations do they have over there in Europe?
Yes. The only one that I know, a few of them that I know, BNBF is the biggest one. Then there are others around, but BNBF in UK is the biggest one that I could get up right up here. There's NPA and there is
the INBA and PNBA.
Yes. There are a few of those in UK, but out of all, it's because my grassroots with BNBF. That's
now. Are they affiliated with
DFAC?
Are they affiliated
DFAC?
WNBF too?
No.
Different.
BNBF is affiliated with DFAC.
Oh, the DFAC.
DFAC. Okay. And what a pleasure to have been with with BNBF, and then DFAC. What you call it, DFAC? DFAC. You guys call it. Well, that was started back in 2000. That's when it began. So I was part with DFAC, DFAC, that back then, and I had a pleasure to win my first ever I'll say pro show.
Oh, okay.
That's where I started, internationally.
And what's the name of the show?
That was the first pro show I won, was Universe, DFAC Universe in New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was run by I've forgotten the name, but pretty much Richard Fitter. Is that Richard Fitter was the co-owner of DFAC. Together with Vicky McCann. Got it all started back in 2012.
Now, who was?
And then 2012, that same year, I won the DFAC World Championship.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so DFAC, I was the first one to win the first ever World Championship in DFAC. But, again, these are all, memories, but,
Great memories, though. Now, when did you, because, that was in the U.S., but when did you start doing more of the U.S. circuit and competing against your brothers, in the U.S. over here?
Yeah, 2013. Yeah, 2013. That was a year. I did
Bob and Tina's show, right?
Yeah. Bob and Tina's show. Yes, down in Sacramento. Yet again, Bob and Tina. How I got to meet Bob and Tina yet again was through Vicky McCann.
Okay.
that's how the relationships in bodybuilding are very important. You know, as you go around, the enjoying the journey, because you will always meet good people, and there are so many good people out there. You know, so yes, you know, you just have to enjoy the ride, enjoy the journey with with fitness. I would say fitness, because bodybuilding is just a byproduct.
Exactly. Now you've retired from competition.
That's right.
A few years ago.
Yes.
Now, what made you come to that conclusion that, you know, hey, I'm done competing?
The love of Christ did take me out.
Okay.
Yes, the love of Christ, and the passion, of carrying on it. You know, because there are things you have to, what does it cost you to do what you're doing? You know, you got to do, plan. I wasn't a good husband most of the time. But so I had to, come to myself, check, what am I doing? And, how is it affecting, the people I'm around? Yes, it's so easy to say, oh, you have to have a good balance. But, it
takes work.
I didn't know I wasn't good at doing the balancing. So, I had to let go to, to enjoy the, being around my family, building my family. Because yet again, that's a precious, as a man, a God-fearing man, love has to start from home. For me to be at peace with you and love you, I have to have love at home. So good foundation of love, and looking after the little ones, Joshua and Lady. Yes.
Hey guys, so Chris, I wanted to ask you, do you handle your own competitive nutrition, or do you have a coach who does it for you?
Man, if you want to know the truth, I just used to be a free man. I just used to roll just with, just doing simplicity, just keeping it simple, not complicating things, because I found that, the less stress in complicating and how much calories I have to eat, or doing, what do you call it?
Macro counting?
Macro counting. It did not come from me, because yes, I just say, right, okay, I'm having 300 grams of carbs, 150 grams of protein. So I just used to play around ratios of carbs, maybe 2 per body weight, and then per pound. 2 grams per pound, and then 1.2 for my protein. The fats there, I don't know. I just didn't know much. But yeah, that's how I used to roll. Just simplicity, just using those simple, numbers.
So there's no nutritional or specific nutritional approach that you use, like, how they have flexible dieting. Again, we talked about if it fits your macros. Ketogenic, nothing like that. You just kept everything pretty basic.
Hey, I just kept things very basic. And
how do you know? More of an intuitive approach.
Yes. I just used to just keep things exactly. Keep the food clean, because I grew up eating sweet potatoes, right? So that's fundamentally, sweet potato man. I used to just grow up doing sweet potatoes. Even I know how they grow, because I used to do the farming. I know how things like that grow. From the ground. So carbs, as a part of an African diet, I'll call it, is just used to just have chicken once like on Christmas, Easter Day, or Easter, and special occasions. So protein, for my growth, was never and has never been one of the big elements, because go back to Africa, I don't know if I'm speaking to a brother out there, yes, it's just carbs, meat is very expensive, so that's the way I grew up. And I think that, growing up and being even active, because it has to start early, to have the love of what you do, and as I carry on.
Now, what's a typical prep length for you?
Yes. In my early years, when I was an amateur, I used to do like 12 weeks. 12 weeks. And fundamentally, the things that I used to do were to actually as some of the people used to say to me, oh yeah, take out the sugars. Sugars we mean like, you know, normal sugar that you would put in a cup of tea. You know, take out the salt. Don't put salt in your meal.
Okay.
And just eat, you know, chicken, your sweet potatoes and broccoli, that kind of, you know, egg whites and, you know, that sort of thing. You know, so you used to be run about 12 weeks out.
12 weeks, okay.
Yes.
And that's an appropriate time for you to shed body fat.
Well, oh man, I used to use some fat burners too. Anyway, so
I was gonna just ask him about his supplementation next. So
okay,
actually, let's get on that. So what's your like competitive supplementation like?
L-carnitine, CLA, fat burners. It will come in right about 6 weeks out, and you know, the normal, you know, protein shakes.
Yeah.
You know, that used to be, that kind of, you know, side, and, you know, depending on which kind of fat burners. I think, because I was once sponsored by Core Nutritionals. I used to use their fat burners, but as well as getting other fat burners from, like the Combat. Combat. Is it? I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know. Well, yes. But you know, used to just mix it out, and yeah.
Did you ever have sponsorship from a company?
That's it. Yeah, I did. You know, I was fortunate, and again, you know, for me, if anyone ever wants to hear truth about sponsorship, because as much as it can be costly. You know, it can be costly because for me it was.
Oh, okay. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
It was in various ways because you could, you know, I was sponsored by an American company, so they used to ship things over.
Yeah.
And it used to cost them to ship things. So, you know, and it's kind of like you have to be selling, you know, showing up and putting, you know, their stuff. You know, whoever's sponsoring you out there for people to, you know, you're advertising for them.
Yeah.
You know, you're a billboard. So it can be because you have to put in, you know, quite as much time as what they need. You know, much time for them because there's nothing for free.
Nothing for free.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing for free.
Now, how much cardio do you do as far as like for competition, getting ready for a comp?
I love you know, cardio. You know, that's the general name used, but I call it exercising. It's part of my exercising regime.
Yeah.
You know, and always, even up to now, I always put in before workout minimum 20 minutes. You know, either cycling, rowing, or running. You know, to a half an hour. You know, at times moderate fast.
Yeah.
Intensity wise. So that's always been, you know, part of me in the journey all through even my preps, and even up to now, I still do. You know, I love. You know, the cardio side, and you know, as part of my exercise.
Do you do any HIIT training, like high intensity?
Yes, I do. Even I still do. I do quite a lot of high intensity, high volume type of training too. I scaled down in the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
You know,
I was going to ask you that too.
Yes, I scaled down in the heavy lifting. You know. With thanks to God that I don't have any injuries whatsoever. So and that comes through your application of lifting, because there are so many myths out there that you have to lift heavy to have big muscles. But you know, my friend, you know, it's a day-to-day enduring and exercising for life. Not for big muscles.
Yeah.
You know, let that be a byproduct. You know, everything has to start from inside. You know, so you could see it outside. Yeah. So you just have to walk by faith and not by sight. When you go to the gym, don't go by the mirrors. Just walk from inside, because you can't see your inside.
Yeah. For you specifically, excuse me. What total caloric ranges work best for you when you're getting into competition prep?
Right. it would be. I used to be very low. I'm probably. It's kind of like difficult for me to explain it because I never
you don't
really track it.
Yeah, he doesn't track. So.
Yeah, I never tracked anything. I never, gone were the days for me when I used to track everything and meals. Yes, I did have a basis.
Yeah.
But it used to be anything between if I was, because I'm a letter A stage when I was, just about leading up to retiring.
Yeah.
It used to be maybe around about 3,000 to 4,000 in between there ranges. Yeah.
Do you have like say when after you're done with the competition, do you reverse diet out? Do you metabolically build? A quote from Dr. Joe Clemenzuski: metabolically building or reverse dieting out of your and getting into the off season.
Well, I'll say I'll share this with you because I didn't know what this reverse diet is about. I'm just ignorant I was just ignorant, and I'm still ignorant in a lot of things. So that reverse diet, I didn't get to know what after the competitions, I used to binge it. And it never bothered me at all. I would spend a week at home, sit down, just getting the food in, and and then all my legs will swell out, everything will swell out, and I'll be like, go back there, time to go back to the gym. But not until at some point my wife goes on to me, I don't think what you're doing is right.
Yeah.
And I said, really?
Yeah.
That's what I don't think it's right. And I said, okay. But yes, it can be a bit depressing. After the show, you work so hard, you diet and down, you see you really trim and everything else, lean, and then after the show, a day, 2 days after, everything is just gone. That's the time I woke up and said, why do I have to go through all this hard work?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like within a day or two, everything is gone because of it binge eating. So I changed my approach. I changed it in the way that after the shows, this was at a later time since 2014. I say 14, 15, because I buy that. Yeah, I buy that. So I just used to, just go back and then mix of things, carry on the way I've been training. Just carry on the way I've been training, and just bring back more, bits of food, but with discipline.
So Chris, tell me about what's your thoughts on like the amateur circuit of natural bodybuilding? What are your thoughts on that?
Well,
the people that are coming up.
Well, the people that are coming up, regardless what age you are, young or old, if you're still in the amateur ranks, or if you are listening out there and you would like to maybe one day get on stage as an amateur, to start off with a novice, the biggest experience that I'll share with you is that the beginning, always the humble beginnings, are the greatest way to start in amateur, and not looking forward to becoming a pro. Just enjoy the day when you are an amateur. Don't stretch out too fast. Don't rush it.
Yeah.
To become a pro, because and enjoy whether it's 4, 3 years, because the muscle growth, the maturity of muscle takes time. Muscle maturity takes time. So enjoy that time of your preps and experiencing at the early stage. Don't look to set your goals too high that I want to become a pro, because what would it benefit you to become a pro and then you don't even get paid? Because yes, you get a pro card, but what is it that you really need it for? Right? If you need it for, of course, your profile, by all means, go get it. But if you're just enjoying, exercising and health, living, because you will enjoy more when you become a pro. You will enjoy the run, and by the time you start, hitting at the medals and coming in, you will appreciate it more. Because I, for one, I was an amateur for 5 years. Pro for before I won any of my any pro show, it took me 7 years. It took 7 years to win any pro show. But I'm telling you, by the time I won the first, it was like right up there at the top, of course. You know, most of the time, winning 2 world championships as well. So, you know, take your time.
Take your time, okay.
Take your time. Be patient, discipline, consistency, and enjoy the ride.
There you go, guys. Now, Chris, who is, on your competitive side, who is your most formidable? I'm going to call them opponents. Right now, I know we're all your friends,
yes.
But who is your most formidable opponent on stage?
You know, this is an interesting question because I've never really heard a person that I always say, oh man, how do I get to, or beat this guy?
Yeah.
Because my understanding is I don't go to beat people. I go out there to have fun. Yeah. And to showcase, the physique that I've been given, that I'm possessing, at this moment. So that element gave me peace. But I had a great joy of standing around with people. Some of the best. My brother Moji. Oh, I'll never forget this. Moji, brother. Oh man, I'll never forget Moji. Right at Bob and Tina's show. Yeah. Because I always wanted to meet him before I started the international circuit, and there you go. We met. It was like a brother, a lost, that I haven't seen for a long time, but he's a brother indeed. And then Marshall, Mr. Marshall, Mr. Marshall Johnson, and his wife Susie. Yes. It was just a blessing to meet those guys, Marshall, Moji. Oh, my brother Benny. We used to have a laugh on the stage. Because we got this thing about, are you in the middle? Yeah. Were you in the middle? Was I in the middle? So we used to have a good old laugh, and then Martin, Daniel Martin. Yeah. Oh man, my brother there. I had a great time with him when we went to Kansas. That's Freddie's show. And my brother, Donovan.
Donovan, yeah, strong, yes.
Yes, bro, man. Oh man, his arms are bigger than my head. I love that brother, man. I love Donovan. Yes. And it was just a blessing. And many of the British pros, David K. That I had great time with, and when I was still part of the British team, DFAC, and many other brothers, Lawrence Kings, other competitors that were really good, because with the British guys, they bring the hardness guys out there. But as for your question, it's just, I used to just go there with just an emphasis of just showcasing and just being happy because of, you do all this hard work in pain and no having to go out and everything else. So the last day, I just go out there just to have fun. That was always my, whoever turns out, it never used to bother me, because it's always down to the judges, what they see.
That's true. But Chris, hey, I appreciate you joining us on the Iron Sharpens Iron show today. And I look forward to seeing you, even if it's not on the stage. I always look forward to hearing from you and stuff from other people, from other guys that we know.
Yes.
And I hope that life is great for you over there back in the UK. And so I want you guys to join us again next time for what we talked to basically Terry Reeves on episode 6. Okay, of the Iron Sharpens Iron Legends of Natural Bodybuilding, where we put a spotlight on all things natural bodybuilding. Until then, Chris, I want to thank you again for joining us. Until the next time.
We catch up. I'll be around.